Endosymbiotic theory. No, I didn't just make that word up. It's a real thing that has to do with your cells. You know, these guys. There are two main types of cells, plant cells and animal cells. If you're a human or any kind of animal, you've got these. Plants have the other type of cell, and while they are very different, they are also very similar. Both types of cells have organelles, little components that exist within the larger cell body. Let's go way back to a time when multicellular organisms hadn't yet emerged. The majority of cells that existed at this time were called prokaryotes. These cells had just one single strand of DNA, the genetic code for all living things. Some of these prokaryotes resembled modern-day mitochondria and chloroplasts. These energy producers are perfect examples for finding evidence of endosymbiosis in modern cells. Let's picture just one cell. It's a small, microscopic blob with some DNA inside. The cell takes in nutrients and expels waste through diffusion. Over time, these cells began developing deep folds in their outer membranes to increase their surface area for transferring these materials. Eventually, the folds got so deep that they pinched off and isolated the DNA from the rest of the cell, making the nucleus. Remember now that the only way our cell is getting nutrients is through diffusion, and therefore an area without favorable nutrients results in death of our little prokaryote cells. There were other types of single-cell organisms at the time that were able to use oxygen to produce energy. These are ancestral mitochondria. These organisms were most likely captured by our proto-eukaryote in its deep folds. Instead of being destroyed, the ancestral mitochondria remained in the interior of the cell, and eventually the two formed a symbiotic bond where the mitochondria provided energy for the cell, and the cell provided protection and a hospitable environment for the mitochondria. With no need to leave, the cells evolved with each other and into the cells that we see today. So in short, many of the organelles we see in eukaryotes most likely resulted from the symbiotic relationship that developed between simple cells so many years ago.